welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a really specific moment from the whole U.S.-China trade situation.
Right.
We're using a Rolling Stone article as our guide here. It caught a point where it seems like the U.S. sort of blinked first in the trade war.
Yeah, it's a fascinating snapshot.
So our goal is pretty straightforward. What exactly happened then, based on this article, and, what should we take away from it? We all know this trade relationship is, well, complicated and gets tons of attention.
Absolutely. It's a huge topic, and this piece gives us a really focused lens on one particular development. A lot going on, always.
Okay, let's get into it. The article uses this phrase, giving in, regarding Trump. What did that actually mean on the ground? Like, what actions were taken?
Well, the core of it, according to the Rolling Stone piece, was that the U.S. agreed to hold off on some planned tariff increases.
Okay, hold off. On what specifically?
We're talking about tariffs on roughly $250 billion worth of Chinese goods. They were scheduled to ramp up on October 15th.
Wow, $250 billion. That's significant.
Yeah, big number. And that October 15th date, it got pushed, delayed.
Got it. So, a delay. Now, why? What reasons does the Rolling Stone article give for this pause, or whatever you want to call it?
The main thing highlighted in the article is a request that came from China.
Oh, interesting. China asked for it.
Yeah. And it was presented, or at least framed in the article, as kind of a goodwill gesture.
Goodwill.
Uh-huh. Specifically tied to China's upcoming National Day celebrations. The idea being perhaps to, create a bit of a better atmosphere for the talks that were still happening.
Right, the timing with their National Day is key. But the article wasn't saying this was like peace breaking out, was
Oh,
it?
not at all. That's a crucial point the piece makes. It really emphasizes this was more like a temporary truce, a tactical pause.
Okay, a tactical pause. Makes sense.
Because you've got to remember, this wasn't happening in a vacuum. There were already U.S. tariffs on, something like $360 billion of Chinese imports?
Right, so those stayed.
Exactly. Those existing tariffs weren't touched by this decision, and the broader, tougher negotiations, they were still very much ongoing. This delay didn't resolve the fundamental issues.
So context is key here. Existing tensions, existing tariffs. This was one specific adjustment.
Precisely. It's why interpretations could vary, Was it just a practical pause? Or, as maybe the article hinted, a sign the U.S. position was softening a bit? Depends on how you read it.
Were there any other details in the Rolling Stone piece that jumped out at you? Something surprising?
Well, the explicit mention of China's National Day as the reason given for the request,
Yeah.
it just really underscores how these huge economic standoffs aren't just about economics, right? Diplomacy, politics, even cultural events can become part of the maneuvering.
That's a great point. It's not just numbers on a page.
Definitely not. Adds another layer to it.
Okay, so let's quickly recap what this Rolling Stone article showed us about that moment. We saw the U.S. delaying a major tariff hike.
On $250 billion of goods, yeah.
Reportedly after a request from China linked to their National Day. But crucially, it was presented as a pause, not an end to the conflict.
Exactly. The bigger trade tensions, the existing tariffs, all that stayed firmly in place.
So, summing it up, a temporary delay, specific reasons cited, but the overall trajectory remained tense.
That's the picture painted by this particular source. And, it leaves us with something interesting to think about.
What's that?
Well, it makes you wonder about the real long-term impact of these kinds of temporary measures, these pauses, in big international trade disputes.
Mm.
How do these short-term tactical moves, like delaying tariffs for a specific reason, actually influence the much bigger, more tangled web of global economic relationships down the road? It's definitely food for thought. How do these moments shape the narrative over time?